Red, white, and blue, baby. Say it with me. Red, white, and blue. How you doing? 4th of July is upon us. How you doing? Look at that. Just like that. How are you? Man. Football, I can feel it. Hey, what's that cooking? How you doing? I can smell it. Football right around the corner. God, I can't wait. I'll tell you what I don't miss is training camps. I was listening to John. John's got to go out there to the NovaCare Center and start covering that team on a daily basis for training camp. Now, the training camps aren't like they used to be back in the day, but yeah, man. No, I mean, it's not what it used to be back in the day. So you're out there for 4 hours. It's just not, it's not what it is. So again, you're out there for a couple hours and you're ready to rock and roll. So it's all good, I guess. But man, we are right here though. And by the way, too, I got to say this one more time. I love where we are. And one of my favorite things on the planet is lists. God, during this time of the year, I love lists. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. Super chats go to the top, just like my boy right here, Kyle. How you doing? He kicks off the show here on a Friday. By the way, supers are needed and wanted, and we appreciate you guys more than you know, man. Keely Bingo will be benched by week 4. How you doing? Hey, pretty cool, man. Absolutely. You know what? I want to see by the way, I'm not rooting against the kid. I'm totally not. I want to see the guy have a really good year, but I don't buy it. I don't buy into people who haven't done shit. I don't know why you do either. I used to think Philadelphia was a city of prove it to me. Instead, it's like, hey, guess what? I really like you, but it's all good. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because you wear the Eagle colors, I guess. I mean, I thought you were like a city that made your players. Hey, here's what's crazy. I'm going to start. I wasn't going to start the show off with this, but let me ask you. And let's start it with Bryce Harper. I traditionally don't do this, but I'm going to start it with Bryce Harper. What's the line here? Bryce Harper's halfway through his 13-year deal of $330 million. Has Bryce Harper been a success in Philly? Yes or no? 6.5 years. He's halfway through his deal. Has Bryce Harper been a success in Philadelphia with the Phillies? $330 million. 13 years. Has Bryce Harper been a success? Yes or no? Guy signed one of the biggest contracts at the time in baseball history. Has this guy been a success? Don't worry. We will be getting off Keely Bingo by week 4. Ask yourself that, because I'm going to go somewhere here in a second. Has he been a success? Yes or no? I don't recall no rings. I mean, he's a great player. He's going to Cooperstown. That guy's going to Cooperstown. Okay? Get this. Good enough, but didn't win it all. Hey, Bryce Harper is a great ball player. It doesn't diminish the fact that he hasn't won a World Series. That's a team thing, dude. He's got no control over shitty starting pitching, which you don't have, or a shitty bullpen, or the way you constructed your baseball team, Let's put a 220 hitter. What is Kyle Schwarber hitting lifetime? Like 210 in the top of my lineup. So we'll do the walk of shame or we'll hit the big souvenir. All right. Yeah, you're not winning shit with that. Bryce Harper's been a great ball player. He really has. He's been a great player. So let me get this now. Let me lead you here. The 10 best NFL quarterbacks, according to Fox Sports, not Big Sills. The 10 best starting quarterbacks in the National Football League, according to Fox Sports. Not Big Sills. Fox Sports. At number 2, when did this come out? Oh, this is great. This came out a day ago. Not a day ago, but a day ago. How you doing? All right. At number 10, the greatness of Dak Prescott. At number 10. Remember, I didn't put this list together. Fox Sports put this list together. Number 9, Jaden Daniels. What a star. Daniels just needed one NFL season to break into the top 10 at this coveted position. The number 2 overall pick and the 2024 NFL draft pick won the Offensive Player of the Year award. Hang on. The Offensive Rookie Player of the Year award, leading Washington to the most wins since 1991. Wow. 3,500 passing yards, 25 TD passes, 900 yards rushing, 70% completion percentage on a pretty shitty roster. But what cemented his ranking was the top 10 was his ability to lead the Commanders in his first year to the NFC Championship game. By the way, yours truly predicted every single one of those. I thought they'd win the East. But I said Daniels would win the NFL Rookie Offensive Player of the Year award. And he did. Zach, how you doing? Big win for Sills there. Does it really matter who's better than Hurts? Well, how do you know? I don't think these lists mean anything better than this and that. I think it's how people perceive you. Bro, I think you misinterpret how I talk about these lists. That doesn't mean any of these guys are better than Jalen. It's how he's perceived. You understand that? It's how he's perceived outside of Philly. It's what I try to give you. See, that's the difference between me and everyone else in Philly. I try to give you how people perceive you. Get this. How many people heard me say that Jaden Daniels would lead the team to the playoffs, win the East, which they didn't, and he would be the Rookie of the Year offensive? How many people heard me say that to this fucking liar? How many people heard me say that? I'll tell you what, Bruce, I'll go with what they say. Just read. I did say that. Hey, you doing? Check. Check. Brucey boy. Yes, sir, baby. Check. Bang. Let's move on. For Brucey, Ah, yes, because Bruce, when I wake up in the morning, you're the number one person I like to lie to. You must really think highly of yourself, which I admire. That is absolutely not true. I said they'd win the East, you dickhead. It perceives to me that Jalen Hurts is the only one of the NFC East with a Super Bowl ring. Fuck what everybody else thinks. How you doing? Okay. Number 9. 1 year. Jaden Daniels. By the way, Big Marshall, thank you. Number 8. Justin Herbert. Let's see what they think of him. This isn't a big sales list. This isn't. I didn't write this shit. Herbert is entering his 7th season and is still yet to win a playoff game. However, he has shown elite talent and the ability to adapt to a new system. In his first season under Jim Harbaugh and the offensive coordinator Greg Roman, Herbert was asked to do more and be more of a game manager who made throws that were smart. He maximized that role, throwing for 23 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions. Man, what a talent. Man. Number 7, Baker Mayfield. Damn, this is how the national media perceives him. Mayfield is coming off a career year. He rediscovered his footing in the NFL in 23 and then broke out in 24, completing 71.4% of his passes, 4,500 yards, 41 TDs while leading the Bucs to the playoffs. While Mayfield will be without one of his main weapons in Chris Godwin to start the season, the Bucs drafted Emeka Egbuka in the first round of the 25 draft. They also have elite pass catchers and Mike Evans and a great runner in Bucky Irvin. At number 6, Jared Goff had a career resurgence in the last 2 years while playing in the offense under Ben Johnson in Detroit. Last season completed 72-4, 4,600 plus passing yards, and 37 TDs. But in 25, he will be asked to adapt to life without Ben Johnson as they have a new coordinator who went on to Chicago as the head coach. Johnny Morton is the new OC in Detroit. And look who comes in at number 5. The man from the city of brotherly love, Jalen Hurts. Hey, Sills, I just saw Tuesday's show. I'd vote for an 18-game season. I got news on that, by the way. 2 bye weeks, eliminate preseason game, move kickoff week to Labor Day weekend. I love that idea, and thank you for the super, my friend. I love that people, when I hear that, you go back and watch the show. No problem, dickhead. Love you too, dickhead. How you doing? See, that's the kind of guy I love right there. You see that? Hey, dickhead. Yeah, dickhead. We're good? Of course. What are you talking about here? Yeah. Here's what they say about Hurts. Hurts made his 2nd Super Bowl and won his 1st ring last season. That being said, he wasn't as prolific of a How do you give the MVP of the Super Bowl a backhanded slap? Everyone else has had a good fucking read. Let me read this again. This is from Fox Sports. Holy shit. You just gave the Super Bowl champion and MVP a backhanded slap. I mean, you're kidding, right? Even I think this is dicky. Hurts made his 2nd Super Bowl and won his 1st ring. Good. That being said, he wasn't prolific as a passer in 24 and threw for a career low. After being named the full-time starter, this is the lowest number in his career, 29.03 and 18 touchdowns. Those numbers were more of a function of the Eagles' successful commitment to the run. Which included Hurts at 630 yards and 14 TDs. That is the shittiest comment about a reigning Super Bowl MVP I have ever in my life heard. Let me read that again. This is from Fox Sports. This sounds like something Big Sills wrote. Number 5, best quarterback in the league. How do you get the best quarterback, 5th best quarterback in the league with this? Hurts made his 2nd Super Bowl and won his 1st ring. Awesome. That's the best line of this thing. That being said, he wasn't a prolific of a passer in 24 as he threw for a career low since being named the starter with 29.03 and 18 touchdowns. Those numbers were more of a function of the Eagles' successful commitment to running the game and running the ball, which included Jalen. Saquon Barkley had a career-high 2,005 yards and 13 touchdowns. That's a backhanded slap. That's a backhanded slap. Let's see what they say about these other guys ranked ahead of him. Joe Burrow. While the Bengals struggled in 24, Burrow had his best year. He completed 70.6 of his passes, 49-18, 43 touchdown passes, both career highs. He helped Jamar Chase achieve the Triple Crown as he led the league in catches, yards, and TDs. That's not that great, I don't think, for a guy that good because he's on the shitty Bengals. Let's see what they say about Lamar. Jackson, the defending NFL MVP, might be the most versatile quarterback on this list. While he lacks accuracy, does he? He does. He's not the most accurate dude on the planet. Okay? He makes up for it in a touchdown efficiency and rushing ability. He's led the NFL in touchdown percentage twice, posting an impressive 8.6 mark last season as he threw for a career-high 41 touchdowns. He also led all quarterbacks in rushing the last 2 seasons, surpassing the 1,000-yard mark in 19 and 20. He's got one knock, is that the Ravens have yet to appear in a Super Bowl with him as a starter. That's fair. This is the top 10 list according to Fox. Hurts is 5th with the shittiest bio going when they're talking about him. Mahomes, number 2, enters 25 with a chip on his shoulder after the Chiefs were blown out in the Super Bowl. Mahomes is also coming off his least productive year as a starter with 39-28. His first stub 4,000-yard passing season so far, and tied for a career low in 26 touchdowns. Hell, those are career years for Jalen Hurts. But in 2025, he should have one of the best supporting casts since Tyreek Hill. Rashee Rice, who was sidelined in a torn ACL last season, should be back in week 1, while Hollywood Brown, who started just 1 game last season because of multiple injuries, will be at full strength, plus Xavier Worthy. I don't think that group sounds very intimidating to me. I just don't. Here's the take. It said here on JAKIB around October or November. Last year, Eagles, Washington NFC Championship game. Hey. Dude, I know. Don't worry. Everyone wants to portray Silk. By the way, Kyle, thank you. In a different light. So wait a minute here. Who's the number 1 quarterback on Fox's list? Huh. Josh Allen. It says a lot to be ranked ahead of Mahomes. While Allen has yet to beat Mahomes in the playoffs, he showed consistency with his arm and legs last season. In 2024, despite not having a single elite receiver after Stephon Diggs went to Houston, Allen threw for 37, 31, and 28 touchdowns. His ability to scramble and maximize designed runs added another wrinkle to the Buffalo Bills offense, where he rushed for 531 yards and 12 TDs. Allen has exceeded every statistical goal in his 7-year career, but a Super Bowl ring would help him even create an even greater conversation of his greatness. Agreed. Bills have to do a better job of getting him more talent. So here's your top 10. Josh Allen 1, Mahomes 2, Lamar 3, Burrow 4, the greatness of Jalen Hurts 5, Jared Goff 6, Baker Mayfield 7, Herbert 8, Daniels 9, and Dak Prescott 10. Damn. There you go. The list is fair. You're never going to put Jalen Hurts out of the top 5. You can't. And that fucko will never win a Super Bowl. So he'll still go down as one of the greatest players of all time. The organization fails him. Nothing he can do about it. Nothing the Dolphins could do about it for Marino. Happens. Nothing the Chargers could do about it for Fouts. Happens. Some guys are in great positions. Some guys aren't. Some guys got great builders of teams. Some don't. It's the luck of the draw. CBS, Yahoo, and Fox can F off. How you doing? Thank you. Okay? Who needs to win a Super Bowl more? All of those guys. Every one of them. That's what they're striving to do. They're great football players. They're great. They're great players. I love it. And Jalen can only get better. No, he can't. He'll get smarter, you mean. Brady never got better. Brady got smarter. Okay? He got smarter. He was never was going to have a stronger arm than Elway or any of those other guys. He got smarter. Becoming more of the student of the game. Hurts will get smarter. He's already, in my opinion, smarter than Lamar. How he sees the game. This list ain't fair, and why is that Prescott even up there? 10-year vet and ain't done shit. It's not true. Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback. He's done an awful lot. The Cowboys and Jerry Jones have not built. John McMullen says it all the time. Organizations let down quarterbacks. That's a fact. That's not my words. Those are John's. He's right. Organizations let down players all the time with not having a lack of patience or not having the ability to adjust or the ability to do what? Evaluate talent. Plain and simple. If you're constantly missing, let me ask you something here. If you're constantly picking at the top of the draft, you think how many people think Trevor Lawrence has a chance of being a great quarterback in this league? I don't. Why? Jags pick in the top 5 every year. What's going to change that dynamic? Every year they pick in the top 5. Okay? Every single year they pick in the top 5. No matter who the quarterback or the coach is. Just shitty organization. Same with the Jets. Jason, thank you, dude. This is kind of you. Big Seals, happy 4th of July. It's a blessing to be born in this country. Amen. And you get a chance to do what we do here each and every single day. You get to come here. I get to talk to you. It's a privilege to talk to you. Thank you, Seals, for all your work and getting us through the work weeks. Best channel on the internet. And I can't thank you enough for being part of this channel here. And I can't thank you guys enough for building this bitch up the way you guys have. Thank you very much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Thank you. I mean, it's taught me a lot. And so have you. You know, you really have. Look at this. I haven't even got to my topics yet here. Hey, by the way, that list of quarterbacks, That's not a bad list. I'd put Stafford on that list before I put Dak Prescott on that list. Stafford's 36, 37, whatever. I mean, I'd probably put Stafford there and take Dak off that list. Get this. I have more excuses for people that have an – get this. I have excuses. This is not an excuse. This is a reality. How many people believe Joe Burrow's going to win a Super Bowl in Cincinnati? It's not Joe Burrow. How many people do you believe Jalen Hurts could not win a Super Bowl in Cincinnati? How many people believed Jalen Hurts? I don't believe Patrick Mahomes can win a Super Bowl in Cincinnati. I just do not believe it. There's no way Joe Burrow's winning a Super Bowl in Cincinnati. There's no way. Josh Allen couldn't. Nobody can. There's nobody in the NFL today that could go to Cincinnati and win a Super Bowl. Brady couldn't do it. I completely agree with that. Brady could not do it. No doubt about it. Okay? How many people believe that Patrick Mahomes could go to the Jets and win a Super Bowl? I don't believe that. Okay? Tampa Bay had great talent around them. They weren't a 4-win team, and they had won a Super Bowl. They weren't a shitty organization. Jesus criminy. I'm talking about shit organizations. The Bucs have won. They had won a Super Bowl, as many as you. By the way, the Bucs have been around a lesser time and have as many Super Bowls as you. And more in the last 25, or as many in the last 25 years, and you've been around for 90. What are you talking about? They got 2 also. Look, the Eagle fan makes it sound like you've won 7 of these. Or like you're the 49ers. You're not. All right. We're going to get to the topics now. I heard a very interesting conversation today. So let me pull this up here. Make sure you guys check out Birds 365. Okay? Each and every single day. They got great topics on there. Let's see here. Here we go. And I want to go all the way down to that. Okay. So, John McMullen, Xander was asking him about Hall of Famers on the team. John McMullen said that Barkley's in. I have a Hall of Fame voter at 5:30. We'll ask him again about Barkley. And then we'll get a couple on so that we can give you guys an idea where he is. John says he's a slam dunk Hall of Famer. He's already in. Let me get the number here on where he is at. Where's that number? Here it is. Okay. How many people believe that Saquon Barkley is a Hall of Famer today? With 7,200 rushing yards. He is, by the way, 65th. I heard John say something interesting. He said because of how he's looked at as a good guy and this and that, that will also play a factor. Terrell Owens is a dickhead. And the only reason they kept him out on the first ballot, but they put him in. because he's one of the greatest. But he has the numbers, and he's still a dickhead. Okay? I mean, whether you're a good guy or not, and whether you're accessible to the media or not, do I think that plays a factor a little bit? Yeah, I do. You were always open. You were always, cordial to the media. Okay? Well, let me ask you this. Right now, he's got 7,200 yards. I asked Jason Cole this question before. He said Shady McCoy's not a Hall of Famer. Well, shit. In 7 years, Shady McCoy had 7,687 yards and 48 touchdowns. Barkley's got 72, 16, and 48. Shady's had a better career. Shady ain't going. Shady's had a better career. How many yards did McCoy end up with? Same amount of years. Shady's got more yards. See where McCoy landed up. 11,102. He ain't getting in. Shady's not getting in. Well, part of injuries is part of it too, my friend. That's right. McCoy was a better player. Wait, take that back. McCoy had a better career. First 7 years, McCoy's had a better career. Shady played more games. Shady was more durable. More reliable. Okay. That's part of it. What are you going to do? Put a guy in the Hall of Fame on maybes? I'm not telling you, though, $2,000 doesn't help. It does. It's a major accomplishment. There's 4 other guys who have done that aren't in and will never get in. Oh, wait a minute. Shady was with a better organization. How's Shady with a better organization in Philly? The organization, I think, is better now than when Shady played. Is that fair to say? Isn't that fair? That Shady McCoy playing with the Eagles are a better organization right now. Right now than when LaShawn McCoy played. Is that fair? In the first 7 years, I added it up. McCoy's had a better career. Not by a bunch, but nobody's putting Shady McCoy in the Hall of Fame. Even with 11,000 yards. I'll ask Jason. First question out of the gate. Hey, Jace, you think Shady McCoy's a Hall of Famer with 11,101 yards? He'll go, no. Well, what makes you think that Barkley's a better player? Barkley's got a better chance of getting in. The ring and the $2,000, that helps. I'm not telling you it doesn't. Get this. So what? Derrick Henry was with the shitty Titans. And he ran for $2,000 with the shitty Titans. I mean, right? So, because I heard that this morning, and I was like, wow. So you obviously think that McCoy's a slam dunk Hall of Famer, which he's not. Giants' shittiest team the last 10 years. Okay? I see. So that works in your eyes, RC3, for Barkley. But that doesn't work for quarterbacks like Josh Allen or Joe Burrow but it works for Barkley because he's an Eagle now. I see. The Giants were the shittiest team for 10 years. And that's why Barkley doesn't have better numbers. Okay? Well, when I bring that same argument up to you about Allen and Burrow, you fucking go the other way. It's an excuse. So which is it? I mean, you change the narrative around so that you can make a comment to fit yours. Now you're making an excuse for Barkley. Is that not an excuse? I don't believe it is. But you're making an excuse now for Barkley because he was on the shitty Giants. This is the comment I always have about Hurts. Hurts playing with great players. People say that that's a negative. I completely disagree, and I agree. He shouldn't be penalized for that. Well, don't penalize these other guys who have horrible organizations around them like Barkley had with the Giants. End of story, RC3. End of story. They're not excuses. That's exactly what I'm talking about with the luck of the draw on where you go. Okay? Get this. So you get this. Not an excuse. Barkley's talent showed in New York. No, it didn't. He was not the second player taken in the draft. Hurt 4 times, missed seasons and parts of seasons because he was banged up on a shitty team. He didn't show it in New York. They did nothing with him. Is that his fault? No. That right there, my friends, is exactly what I talk about when you try to make Josh Allen lesser of a player than Jalen Hurts. It's the luck of the organization. It's not a rip on Hurts to be in a good place. There are so few of those teams. Like I said, okay? Bernie Sanders, Lions were awful. It's not Sanders' fault. Get this. I want to make a point. He's a Hall of Fame talent. Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing it. But when you constantly tell me that Hurts is better than these other guys, and yet these other guys, that's an excuse on why he can't carry those teams across the finish line, you just made a built-in excuse for Saquon Barkley to be a Hall of Fame guy because he was on the shitty Giants. Dude. Right. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate it. Happy 4th, man. So why compare him to Shady with yards when you know he missed so many games? That's the point. Him being injured also is going to play a factor in him not making it. I mean, well, he missed games, and Shady played more. Shady was more durable and more reliable, and you could count on him more. Yes. Yes. McCoy has had a better career for 7 years, like Barkley. He had a better career, with Barkley having a sensational year. Best year Shady had was 1,617 touchdown runs. I didn't even talk about his pass catching. Well, Barkley missed games. No shit. No shit. Well, he was on the Giants. No shit. So we got 2 built-in excuses. He got hurt and the Giants. That's not Hall of Fame. McCoy's more of a Hall of Famer because McCoy was reliable and durable. Shady's had a Canton year, not a Canton career. Even for a nice fella. Dude, 7 years. The first 7 years, Shady McCoy has had a better career. Saquon literally had nothing. Once again, bend my backside's best friend over. I mean, you're making the same argument that you counter me with Josh Allen, with Jalen Hurts, because Saquon had nothing. Josh Allen has nothing. I'm confused. You're making excuses for Barkley, but you constantly demean and diminish the achievements of the other players in the league who people perceive as being better players because they have lesser talent around them. And you call that an excuse. And now you come up with an excuse that the Giants suck, which you're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. Barkley is behind schedule. Yes, because of the Giants. Because of a bad team. Because of bad management. Because of bad general managers. Because of bad head coaches. You guys will call that excuses for Josh Allen. I call those facts. When I heard that today, nobody's debating Barkley's not a Hall of Fame talent. I agree. But the career gets you in. Not the notion what you think one guy in his ability is. That doesn't get you in. Okay? Can't decide if Sills is a doubter or a realist. Fine line. Here, a realist? I'm giving you the realities of a football player's career. Plain and simple. Doubting. I'm not doubting anything. I'm not doubting that Saquon Barkley is a Hall of Fame talent. I'm not doubting that one bit. But just because you think he's a talent doesn't make him a Hall of Fame player. Shit, dude. Saquon is behind Shady for the first 7 years. For all the people in the chat who would rather work for Jeffrey Lurie or for the Brown family, that's right. Who would you rather play for? The owner of the Eagles or the owner, Mike Brown? But they'll call that an excuse. It's not. It's reality. That's a reality to this. You see those lists? And by the way, I'm not dismissing. By the way, one more time on this with Jalen. Phenomenal that Jalen Hurts has been able to play at Alabama, Oklahoma, and Philly. It's been a godsend. Those are places that are going to give you a chance to win so many games. By the way, Alabama's going to win ball games and national titles with or without Hurts. The Eagles are going to win Super Bowls with or without Hurts. They've proven it. They're going to get the Super Bowl games with or without Hurts. They've proven it. Cincinnati's not. The Jets are not. Tennessee is not. Jacksonville is not. I mean, bend my backside friend over. You've already won a Super Bowl without Hurts. You've been to two others without him. It's a testament to the organization. Again, this is not any kind of, based off this list, like I said, somebody said it earlier. Sills, do you really think that one guy being better than the other? No. What it tells you is that when you look at a list like that, let's take a look at this. when you take a look at the list, Cowboys ain't doing shit with Jerry Jones. Let's take a look at the GMs. Adam Peters, we don't know yet in Washington. Jim Harbaugh will change the room there. They may win one in Los Angeles. I love Jason Light. I think Jason Light does a nice job. Brad Holmes, we'll see in Detroit. Joe Burrow, really? Mike Brown? I don't think so. Eric DeCosta, it's a good organization. Mahomes has already won 3. Allen, Brandon Beane? No way. Brandon Beane's overrated. So is that head football coach. The only thing they got right in Buffalo is the quarterback. They don't have the GM or the coach right. They got the quarterback, general manager, and head coach right in Kansas City and in Philly. There's no coincidence to that. In New England, you had the head coach, you had the owner, and you had the quarterback right. You've got to get those 3 things right for you to win. You can't do this. You can't have somebody who doesn't fit what you're doing. What does Saquon need to do to be considered for the Hall of Fame? I'll tell you what. If he ends his career at the same number of yards that Saquon Barkley or that Shady McCoy has at 1101, okay? And he has 2 Super Bowl rings. And there's a 2,000-yard rushing season and another 1,800 yards. And he's in that conversation. Do you know what Hall of Fame voters will do? They'll go like this. Well, they will take what you're saying into fact. Man, those Giant years were terrible. And when he was put in a good situation, he was great. But you also have to apply that to Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar has no excuses this year. He has absolutely no excuses. No more tax on tips and overtime. Let's go. So the bill must have passed. All right. Saquon's at 72-16. By the way, this is more of a conversation about organizations than about whether or not Barkley is a Hall of Famer. But I tied it in there a little bit. Bro, it's where you play. It's totally where you play. Here's the thing that Jalen gets shit on for, which is not fair. He has all that talent. And he's won with it. Very hard to do that. You know why? He sucked it up and sacrificed his numbers. Because he knows he gets paid on those numbers. He sucked it up. Dan Marino would never do that. He would never do that. Any big-time quarterback. Get this. You know why Josh Allen won the MVP award? Because they took the ball out of his hands a little more. And they gave it to the running back more. And they spread the ball out more. They tried to get more balance. That's why he won the MVP award. On a team that has nobody. He won the MVP because nobody's on that team. And he learned how to be patient. Hurts is better than Allen at that. He's better than Lamar at that. I thought Mahomes for the first time showed panic in that Super Bowl. Get this. See this guy Marcus down here? He says Josh Allen has no excuses. Neither does Barkley then. He's not a Hall of Fame player then. Because he was in shitty New York. No problem. Okay? We're going to use your metric on Allen. Allen has a bad organization. Okay? No excuses? No excuses for Barkley playing in New York. 0. That'll end the conversation on Hall of Fame with your metric. You're not going to Hall of Fame based on 3 years. Sills, it's different with quarterbacks. They impact the game more than any position or coach. Saquon needs about 5K more yards. The tush-push band to get in. You know what? I'll tell you this. If I was Saquon Barkley, I would not want to run that goal line play. Let the quarterback do it. If I'm a running back, that's where you get hurt, is in them goal line plays. Okay? Let him run it. He's better at it. They're great at it. Let them do it. I don't have a problem with that. Hey, they ran the tush push. Will that be a part of the conversation when they're in Canton? Yeah. I mean, that's okay. That's how they won. That's not a problem. Okay, get this. I'm not flip-flopping on anything, dickbag. I'm tired of your excuses for Barkley going to the Hall of Fame because he played on a shitty Giant team. You can't use the same metric in Buffalo and say that Josh Allen's played on a shitty Buffalo team and sit there and try to tell me Barkley's a Hall of Fame fucking player when Barkley played on a shitty team too and couldn't get it done. End of story, dude. Flip-flop. Try to get your shit right, guy. Niners all day. 5 times a year because Jerry Rice wasn't the best receiver to ever touch the field. Well, he was. Jerry Rice is the greatest offensive player to ever step on a football field. There's no, outside of a quarterback, he's the greatest offensive player ever to play. There's just no way around it. He's got 200 touchdowns, and he touched the ball 4 times a game. I mean, he's the greatest offensive weapon pro football's ever seen. He's on the Mount Rushmore of players in this league and in the history of the league. But nobody will ever do the things he does. You will not catch his yards. You will not catch his catches. You will not catch his touchdowns. It won't happen. It just will not happen. Okay? It will not happen. Okay? It just will not. Get this. Jerry Rice ran a 4.7. He's not the best. That is so dumb. How many people in here ever remember Rice getting caught from behind when he played in the NFL? When he was taking the post to the house with those 200 touchdowns? Does anybody remember Jerry Rice getting caught? Anybody? Does anybody remember Jerry Rice getting caught from behind? Yeah, maybe in Seattle. He was 40. OJ played on bad teams, minus the Electric Company. Great offensive line with DeLamalore, McKenzie. It was a great old line. Joe Ferguson was a decent quarterback. OJ was spectacular. Their defenses were terrible. Just terrible. And you also played in an era of the Steelers, the Dolphins, and the Raiders, and the Chargers in the AFC, who had dominant football teams. Those teams were just insane great because you didn't have free agency or a cap. You kept guys on teams for decades. I mean, the entire offensive line of the Raiders was intact just about for a full 12 years. You had Shell and Upshaw for over a decade on the left side. Okay? I think a lot of people that are listening to your show are too young to see some of these players play. Well, that's not the case because you can Google it and you can go now and in today. They're just at the tip of your fingers to see, and you can now go back and watch an Earl Campbell or a Jerry Rice or a Lawrence Taylor or a Reggie White and you can go back. And the accessibility now of Intel is for any age. So when you say that, all you have to do is just Google it. That's what my daughter does. She Googles it. She goes back. She watches a player. She'll see somebody like Jordan. My daughter knows more about Michael Jordan than she does about SGA. If I asked my daughter who her favorite basketball players were, she would say probably Magic Johnson, maybe Kobe, okay? Because she's seen him on videos and she's seen him on YouTube. That old note years ago without the internet, that's true. You can't bring up old dudes. Now you can, because all you have to do is YouTube it. And you could just YouTube and see greatness within seconds, like they played yesterday. That's why, like on the radio, you probably don't want to reference that. But here, all you have to do is YouTube it. Watch Jerry Rice play. Watch Montana play. Watch Manning play. Watch Marvin Harrison play. Okay? Right? Get this. This guy RC3, man, he's an all-pro at fucking L's today. The league was trash then? How could the league be trash when you got the same players on your team for 20 years? And today's players, 20% turnover every year. How could they be trash? The athletes are better today. Teams aren't. You got to rebuild your team every year in the NFL. You didn't have to rebuild then. You could have dynasties. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's saying the players are better. Well, they're better athletes. They're not better technicians. How could you be a better technician when you don't even have two-a-days? You don't practice a lot. 87, Jerry Rice, 65 in 12 games. Wow. In 12 games. You imagine what that dude would have done if that guy played a full 16-game schedule? That was my first year in the league. I played against him that year. I played against the 49ers that season. And he was spectacular. The best player I've ever seen without the ball in his hand, without being a quarterback, is Jerry Rice. I got a great picture of me playing against 49ers, by the way. Tremendous. They don't practice like they used to, and it shows, especially beginning of the year. Yeah, when the Eagles were 2-2, they basically had no minicamp. They don't use the train. By the way, I'm not ripping it. They're very successful. I am not ripping the Eagles at all in that. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Supers go to the top. Jerry Rice or Tom Brady. Well, it's different. You can't really look at wide receivers. That's why I said, non-quarterback. Jerry, here, let me show you something here really cool. Here, let me put this up here for you. That's really cool. I think Rice played 20 years too. How many people in here? Jerry Rice, 4.71 he ran. That's crazy. Some of you in here probably think A.J. Brown's a better player than Jerry Rice, right? Let me get that guy. Do you believe Jerry Rice, A.J. Brown's a better player than Jerry Rice? Here's Rice. 1570, 1078, 1306, 1483, 1502, 1206, 1206, 1503, 1500, 1848, 1354, 1257, 1139, 1211, 15 touchdowns, 22 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns. 1,549 receptions with 22,000 receiving yards and 197 touchdowns. Counting the playoffs, it's over 200. Jerry Rice has 200 touchdowns. I'm not sure anybody in football has 200 touchdowns non-quarterback. I don't believe so. Rice has 200 touchdowns counting the playoffs. That's right. That's right. 22,000 yards receiving will never be broken. Never. Now to AJ Brown's, side of this, A.J. Brown doesn't have Montana and Young throwing him the ball. Never had to use Stickum on his gloves. A.J. Brown is better than Rice. I'm not even going to debate that. Thank you for the super, though. Even little Joey knows that. Or excuse me, even little Stevie knows that. Okay? I mean, hey, by the way, you could say all you want. I will not debate that. Just not going to be a debate. Rice had Montana throwing the ball. AJ has Hurts. He'll never be close. Correct. Never going to be in that conversation. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, he did. I'm sure he admitted it. That what? Rice would not be as great of a player because Rice had Stickum on his gloves, which was legal back then to have in your gloves. I see. And are you under the assumption players today don't have gloves that have that built in? Have you ever had receiver gloves on? They have that built into the gloves now. That's why they wear them. That's why I said most of these guys listening to the show haven't seen Jerry, because you would never compare them to players. That's right. But what you do is, because they see a guy. Let me tell you where I would put, again, AJ amongst the greats. Rice playing against plumbers and all-day guys. So he thinks playing against Deion Sanders, who ran a 4.40, was a plumber. Jerry Rice was a plumber, and Deion Sanders was a plumber. He's the greatest shutdown corner of all time. Could play in. He would dominate today. Put him in a zone at 4.40. You're telling me Rod Woodson, who ran 4.41s at 6'4", could not play in today's NFL. And Keely Ringo can. Really? Wait a second. Deion Sanders, who ran, there's the myth he ran a 3.9. Darrell Green ran a 4.40. Yeah. Here. See here. Excuse me, 4.2. Deion ran a 4.2. See what Darrell Green ran. Hall of Famer. 4.4. Plumber. See here. Rod Woodson. Plumber. Olympian sprinter, by the way. 4.33. Those are plumbers? Guys running 4.3s and 4.2s are plumbers? Huh. You must know a really fast bunch of plumbers. What's this called? Let me guess. The white glove guys with great speed. Right? The white glove guys. I know some fast plumbers. I'm sure you do, dude. You sitting on the throne. You have to call the plumbers real quick. How you doing? Hey, this is M. Reyes. You best get your ass over here. You best get your ass over here, man. And you better use some of that 4.33 speed to get your ass over here. How you doing? It's M. Reyes. I'm about to log in number 2. How you doing? Right? There you go. Big Sales, do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. You know what this is? I got a new name for the summer here. We need to come up with a song. You know what it's called? The Summer of the Gene. Woo! It's like the Summer of the Gene. Guy's got his shirt off everywhere. This guy's like Brad Pitt. I mean, the Summer of the Gene. Right? This guy's like living it up, man. A lot better than Iowa City. This is like the Summer of the Gene. How you doing? Yes, sir. Hey, man, got to take my shirt off, hang around. Hey, all I got to say is anybody in Wildwood, just be careful because the Coop Monster's out there. Speaking of Rice, great to see Sterling make the Hall of Fame. Was dominant in the same era. Ended up getting injured. He was really a great football player. I played against him in college, too, when he was at South Carolina. Really great player. Absolutely. 2025 Eagle defense includes Donut Davis, Keely Bingo, and Jeremiah Slow Trotter. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and it was a good friend of mine. Damn it. Hey, like the Three Stooges. Come on. Jeremiah Bulldog. Oh, it's a bullfrog. That's it. Jeremiah Bullfrog. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. How you doing, man? Yeah, that, you know, only M. Reyes would go to completely being like something even you Penn would ban now. I mean, something even you Penn would look at M. Reyes and go, you're barred from being on campus, M. Reyes, because it's a creep factor. How you doing? No, I ran a 4.81. 4.81. 292, Junior. How you doing? Right? You bring it on yourselves. I don't bring shit on myself. What do you mean I bring it on myself? Bro, I do a show every day. Anything I do in this show, yours truly has a signature on it. Big fucking Sills. Exclamation point. Bang. Okay? Hey, get this. Not only that, but I also had a 30 vertical. How you doing? Now I can't jump over a stack of quarters. Oh, okay. Now I can't jump over a stack of quarters. Okay? Dude, once again, oof. Like, I guarantee you this guy doesn't wear draws. He's like a free baller. This guy's just really, I don't know. You know, one of those guys that you go into a barbershop. I told you, dudes don't cut my hair. There's a reason for that. I can't have dudes scraping and dragging along the I-95 corridor. Let me just say that. I can't have the I-95 corridor. You know, guys like to get up on you. I can't have guys like leaning up on me and cutting my hair. Hey, what do you think of the Eagles? Bro, when you got your cannoli rubbing up on me, I don't know what I think of the Eagles. So that's why I can't have dudes cut my hair. It's been a priority of mine. I would have to say probably going on 25 years. Okay, no dudes cut my hair. I just can't have it. Because there's always a guy that's going to go, hey, man, you're a sports talk guy, right? Yeah. Hey, so wherever I'm at, what are you making of fins? The guy's got his coconuts on me, and I'm going, all I can think about is his coconuts on my left elbow. And I'm like, yeah, can't have it, man. Breaking Terry McCoy might ask for a trade. Hopefully he goes to Buffalo. That would be awesome. Yeah, I can't. It just, it's not good for me. Guy leaning over, cutting his hair. How do you like it? Like JFK. Yeah. Like JFK. What do you want? What do you mean? I want it like Brad Pitt. Talking about, I want my hair. Go to barbershops, man. I sit around bullshit with you all the time. And then you got M. Reyes in the corner over there going, yeah, the guy really likes. Look at his shirt. It's awesome. Look how great he looks. M. Reyes. He sees the guy with his shirt off. He starts shaking. M. Reyes sees a dude with his shirt off. I know his hand gets all shaky and shit. It's kind of really weird. I don't know. You can just imagine. He'd be sitting at a bar with you somewhere. M. Reyes, all of a sudden his right knee would start moving. And I'd be like, what's going on? There's a lot of guys around. Okay. I know. I have to go to the bathroom. He doesn't say I have to go to take a piss. He goes, I have to go pee. You know those guys. M. Reyes is a guy that says, I have to go pee. Most men say, I have to go take a piss, right? Here's M. Reyes. Hey, excuse me, guys. Order me a white wine spritzer. I have to pee. I would believe that this would be a true statement. Yes. I believe M. Reyes would like cannolis rubbed on him in numerous fashions and numerous forms and numerous ways. I do believe this. Okay? Yes. Hey, is that you, Sills, or is that a Twinkie in your pocket? I don't know. Oh, man. That's why you keep your arms. I can't keep my arms. Bro, I'm a pretty large dude. Keeping my arms in one of those chairs is not as easy as you think they're Slim. Hey, Akbar. Akbar's talking to a guy who played in the NFL. Go, keep your arms in the chair. Yeah, well, guess what? I haven't been able to keep my arms in the chair since I was 15. Keep your arms in the chair. Yeah, okay. Well, if I'm a narrow ass like Akbar, I'm in. And he's made for folding chairs. I'm made for a sofa. Big Sil sits in a sofa. This guy sits in an armchair. Oh, this fits. Yeah, I've been able to sit in an armchair since I was 15 years old. Crazy. Why do you say peace? I don't. You come on. Does M. Reyes come off like the guy who sits down when he takes a piss? You know he does. He says, I have to go pee, and he pees sitting down. And he's got toilet paper in there. I don't know. That's the guy M. Reyes is. It's okay. Hey, I'm good. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. Sandra will join us at the bottom. And my friend Jason Cole will join me at 5:30. Okay, so let me go here now with you. I heard something pretty cool. And this was told to me by my friend on the coaching staff. Do you know what Jalen Hurts has been doing the entire summer? He and Kevin Patullo have been watching film together the majority of the spring. And you know what they're doing? They're learning each other and they're calling plays out the same way that I told you Brady and Belichick would do these war games. I was told last night that Jalen Hurts on Zoom calls or in the facility, he's in there with Kevin Patullo, and those guys want to have a more seamless transition from a year ago where Kellen Moore and him were not on the same page at the beginning versus these guys sitting there and making sure that they get off to a great start. That's a great thing. Okay? That's a great thing. And I'm glad to hear this. You know, somebody said something earlier on the program. Hurts is going to get better. No, he's not. He's going to get smarter. And being smarter is better than anything he can have happen to him. He's not going to improve his arm strength. He is not going. You don't improve when you get older. You get smarter when you get older. Okay? You get smarter. Smarter wins. Being more talented doesn't. Being smarter wins. Okay? And that's where he's going to get better and win more games. Whether you throw a great deep pass or whether you run faster has no bearing on you winning. Has no bearing. Do you know your pre-snap reads? Do you know your landmarks? Do you know where you're going? That's right. Being wiser is what's going to make him a better ball player. Being a better ball player doesn't mean improving your physical attributes. Not that he's not working on them. Okay? Not that he's not. But that's not going to make Hurts a better player. Okay? He doesn't need to improve his arm strength. It's more than good enough. Yes. Yes. You know what he needs to improve? Pass protections. Taking less sacks. Here. Guys, do me a favor. If you can stomach it. What's the areas that you think Jalen Hurts? And I love that he's working with Kevin Patullo. Here's the issues he needs to work on to make him better and get the best out of him. Have better pocket presence. Pocket presence. Jay Cutler had the attributes and was mediocre. Jay Cutler was one of the most skilled players I've ever seen play the quarterback position. Same with Jeff George, Paul. Thank you for the super. But those guys could not see the game. They could not manage themselves around the game. Okay? Look at this. I'd rather him take those. It's such a stupid conversation. He's not better than Josh Allen. He might be smarter, though. What would you rather have? What would you rather? Here, let's go here. He will never be the talent of Allen, but he probably is smarter than Allen. What would you rather have? A smarter quarterback or a more talented quarterback? What would you rather have? Let's see what you say here. Smarter. Smarter all day. Smarter. The most talented guys don't win. And get this. This kid's won a Super Bowl. And he has so much more room to improve. He won a Super Bowl because he's a smarter guy. Okay? Get this. And once again, of course he's talented. Welcome to the NFL, kid. His pocket presence, work on that. Takes those minus plays all the time. That's why his passing yardage blows. Okay? Keep learning how to set the pass protection. You know, him taking 40 sacks, counting the playoffs, 48 sacks counting the playoffs, is him still learning how to set protections. If he gets better at being able to stay in the pocket and move around better and not take those sacks, setting pass protections, he's going to be lights out. What else? Throw across the middle of the field once, dude. Even if it's a duck. Make the defense honor that. That would help the passing game. So anything, just throw something in the middle. Even if it's not completed, do something to where you're not so predictable at throwing the ball. Montana Smarts was better than anyone in his era. Completely true. Remember something too. He had Bill Walsh. All the things you see, even in Philly, all over the league, the West Coast offense, he created it. He created it. Okay? Understood. But I'm saying it once again, your passing game's predictable. That's why it was 30th. Your run game was not because of Hurts and him. Let me ask you this. What was more predictable, the run game or the passing game for the Eagles a year ago? What do you think was more predictable? And you ended up so much so you got away with one of them. What was more predictable, the passing game or the run game? Oh, I don't think the run game was predictable. Not with Jalen Hurts back there, too, running it. Saquon Barkley got 2,000 rushing yards because the fear of Hurts running, too, was there. The pass was more predictable. That's why they got away from that, and they didn't get away from the run. There is no way that Saquon Barkley, I'll say it again, there's no way that Saquon Barkley gets $2,000 if there's any other style of play back there in the backfield other than a guy like a Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts. You're just not going to have that. You've got to have the element of the running game. And Jalen Hurts is the second best runner on your football team. Years previous, he was the best runner. Okay? He's the best runner. Your passing game was stopped. Super Bowl, again, I get it. But throughout the season, it was. Or what is it? You didn't want to do it because you were too dominant running the ball. Sure, okay. Proof point of Jalen Smarts in the run game. He called all the audibles for those 3 long runs against the Rams in the divisional game. And get this, in that, I think it was the Rams game, he had like 65 net yards passing. But yet, because of him audibling into those runs, the run game was the significant thing. And that what made that whole thing go, man. He was really good in the run game. And he's really great in the run game because you fear him taking off, going backside. And I love the fact that him and Kevin Petula are working on that. It's essential. I mean, it was essential. Great game. That was great by the defense, too. So, yes. I would say that would be true. Why, your girl likes it. I'm sorry, I had to do that there. So I did it. I like it. All right. Before we get to Big Z here, I did a small hit yesterday with a Pittsburgh radio show. What do you think the biggest conversation is in Pittsburgh right now? What do you think the biggest conversation in Pittsburgh is? Pittsburgh radio. So I want to read this to you first. Okay? TJ Watt wants out. So let me read this to you here. Okay. We're getting all kinds of people following us now. So I wrote this down here. And this is what you have in Pittsburgh right now. I guess a reporter is saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers told TJ Watt, you're lucky to be, and I'm paraphrasing, you're lucky to be, here it is. Here's the line. The Steelers told TJ Watt during their negotiations that he's fortunate to be a Steeler. TJ Watt replied, you're fortunate to have me. That's not going well. And they are under the notion that trading Watt to Philly for Nolan Smith, they're trying to will this in like AJ to New England. I told the guy, I go, there's no way that they're doing this. And he goes, why not? Watt's a great player. I go, it's not the point. They don't need him. You don't need TJ Watt? I go, no. You should have heard it. I'm more of, get this, I was defending you guys going, why would they want to spend $40 million on a 30-year-old guy who's always hurt? Or he sometimes in December is Casper the Ghost. He's either hurt or sometimes in games he's never seen. And I said the blasphemy of it is that I hear people in the Pittsburgh area trying to compare TJ Watt to Mean Joe Green. I'm like, Mean Joe Green showed up every fucking week and killed people. He was never a Casper the Ghost. I said, I'd rather keep Nolan Smith. His rookie deal, potentially give him a $25 million deal if the guy has 10 sacks, than pay a guy 40 who's hurt and sometimes doesn't show up to games. I think TJ's a good player. But I'll tell you what, they were trying to tell me that he was Myles Garrett. I'm like, he is not Myles Garrett. He is not Myles Garrett. Okay? Hurts is like Brady. Brady had half the talent of Rodgers, but smarter and mentally tougher. That's right. So I see something in here. Let me take a look at TJ Watt. Let's take a look at it because people are in here from Pittsburgh that I did that hit with. And it's a big conversation. They want Nolan. I'm like, I would not do it. I'm not doing it for the money. So let's take a look at this. Okay. His injuries aren't that awful. He's missed one game, 6. In the last 2 years, like you said, and he's 30. He's got 30 sacks in the last 2 years, which is awful impressive. So you're right who put that out there. In the last 2 years, so maybe the only year when he was 28, he was 20 in 2022, he played 10 games because he was banged up. Still had 5 sacks in 10 games. So if you put that out, he probably, again, you put that probably over 11 and a half sacks. So every year but 2022 and his first year, he's had double-digit sacks. It's a pretty impressive record. But I'm not spending $40 million on that. Okay? You obviously don't watch TJ Watt. Hey, Daz, I don't have to watch fucking games like you do to know a player is good. I've been in the room with players that are great. I don't need to sit around watching fucking guys. Okay? TJ Watt is not in his room. Not in his room. Not in his room. Okay? Never been to rehab? Well, yes, he has. Had to have. He missed 7 games in 22 or 6 games in 22. So obviously he was injured. And actually 7 games. And he's missed 8 games in the last 4 years. And he's 30. He's missed 8 ball games in the last 4 years. So a half a season. Maybe you ought to watch some ball games. How you doing? Well, I'll tell you, when I was listening to the Birds 365 this morning, holy shit, Xander had half the fucking team in the Hall of Fame. Hey, this guy's just rolling to the Hall. This guy's rolling to the Hall. This guy's rolling to the Hall. I'm like, holy friggin', I can't wait for 2025. Now, Xander's in a bit of a bad mood for 2 reasons. A Venmo and no heat. But it is the 4th of July. So I'm hoping that maybe he got his AC fixed or he's in a different room. Or hopefully he's got someone blowing on him. Or wait, a fan blowing on him, I mean. Maybe a fan or something here. Without further ado, one of the more entertaining shows in Philadelphia for sure, next to Big Sills too. By the way, when you want to get, I swear to God, I tuned on, this is going to come off so bad, but I'm going to say it anyway. I tuned on Jeff McClain's podcast. It's so fucking bad. Let me show you how he does it. He goes like this. Well, today, Eagle fans, I was over at the NovaCare Center and pondering and pontificating on what the starting lineups will look like this year. Vic Fangio addressed the media 2 weeks ago yonder. And I'm like, this guy sucks. And no wonder this guy quotes are needed. With all that being said, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Big Z, Xander Krause, how you doing, bro?
Big Sills, I never had a bad day in my life. I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God. Hey, I'm just saying, I heard you, man.
Wait a second. Let me run a scenario by everybody, okay? You live in a house, whether you're with your wife, your husband, your kids, your parents. I don't care who you're with. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing they say when they see you is, holy shit, you look like shit. If they did that to you in the morning, okay, would you say, yo, F off? You would, right? Well, that's Sileo today. I get it. He clicks on the show, and my air's not working today, and I'm a little hot before the show. I'm grinding. I was out in the yard. I had some things to do outside. I'm wearing a tank, and Sileo just started busting on my chops. And I politely told him to fuck right off.
Yeah. I was just like, the guy shows up. He's got a guinea tee on. His hair's all fucked up. He's got everything going up top. He's sitting there going like this, son of a bitch. What the hell's going on? He's doing everything. I'm going like, I got my hair. I'm feeling good. I just got a nice email. I'm all set up.
Yeah, you want to have a shorter show today? I'm feeling good. 4th of July. You want to go?
Oh my God, you're kidding! I would love that.
Go to 5.
Go to 5.
All right. We're going to 5 today.
That's
Text
fucking
Jason
awesome.
Cole. Tell him that.
Yeah, I will.
Love you, Jace, but enjoy your 4th.
Let me ask you this, man. Do you agree with what I said about Saquon? That Barkley right now, again, bro, he is a Hall of Fame player. No, I'll take that back. He's a Hall of Fame talent. Shady McCoy's had a better 7-year run in the first opening of the 7 years than what Saquon Barkley has. He's got more yards. He's got as many touchdowns. He's been more durable and reliable. How are you saying he's a better ball player than, not you? I'm saying, how would you consider him being a better ball player than Shady McCoy, who's not going to the Hall of Fame?
That's an interesting perspective by you.
I put the first 7 years. Here's the numbers, Andrew.
Now, Shady's got what, 1,100 in his career?
11,000.
11,100 in his career. Not 1,100, 11,000 in his career. Saquon's got what?
72. 72, 16, and 48.
Yeah, he got me pretty close, man. He did that in a shorter period of time, without a doubt, right?
No, wait a minute, though. In the first 7 years of Shady's career, he had 7,687 yards and 48 touchdowns.
Well, do you think
Barkley's
the question with Shady is his best years all came early, and if the take is that Saquon, because he was hamstrung by the Giants, his best years, now that would be contradictory to majority of running backs in history for his best years to come later in his career, but he did just have his best year, in Philly for the first year. So I think he's got a couple really good years in Philly. Give him 3 years of what he did last year and a couple years on the back end of when he slows down a little bit. I think you're looking at 12, 13,000 yards for him.
Again, like I said, and you're right. I'm not disputing the kid. I'm talking about McCoy's first 7 years, 7,687 to 72-16. Both have nearly 50 touchdowns, 48-48, as a matter of fact. They're both in the same room. Don't you think here that if LaShawn McCoy, again, he ran out of gas more later. You're right. He did. Where Barkley might pick it up more because of the team that he's on. All that being said, here's a guy that's been injured 3 of the last 5 years, and we're expecting him to really pick up more yards and be more durable later in his career as he goes into 28, 29, and 30. I'm expecting him to be more durable as he gets older.
I hear what you're saying on that, but I do think he's a special player. I think he's going to buck the trends of the majority of people that it's happened with, but you're definitely right. I mean, this is where you were right. I mean, even a year ago before Saquon did this, you said he's going to have a hard time getting to the Hall of Fame, and that was before he had a historic 2,500.
And he's a Hall of Fame talent. I want to preference that.
But here's the other thing. Like, if the Eagles, let's just say the Eagles win another Super Bowl in the next 2 years, and he's remembered as big of a part of those as he was, doesn't that kind of overcome some of the stats? You know what I mean? Like, versus Shady McCoy has how many rings? 2? Or did he win 2 or 1?
I don't know.
I know he won with the Chiefs, but did he?
Yeah, he won 1, but wasn't he a role player with them?
That's what I mean. You don't. When you think of Shady McCoy Super Bowls, you don't think of Saquon. When you think of the Eagles Super Bowls, right now you think of Saquon. Yeah, Shady won 2. That's right.
Where did he win the other one?
Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah, he was like a role guy though with them.
He was Buffalo. Oh no. Tampa was the second one.
Okay, he won it in Tampa with Brady and them guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like a role guy here with that. So
you're right. He had 10 carries for 31 yards in the 2020 season. He played 10 games.
I thought he played a little more in the playoffs, but
maybe he did. I'd have to look at the playoffs.
I think that
2019. Nope, 0 carries for 0 yards in the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, he was just a ceremonial ring.
Yeah. And then in 2019, when he won with the Chiefs, he had 100 carries for 465 on the season.
That brings me to this. Did James Bradbury win a ring?
Bradbury won a ring last year with us.
Okay. He got the money in the ring and never played. What a fucking steal of a year. You thought Jesse James used a gun when he robbed the bank. This guy got 11 million in the ring.
I don't think James Bradbury robbed us. I think that was more that the organization gave him a contract. And James tried to live up to that contract. They didn't want to use the player. That's their obligation. And I don't think he was ever that bad, honestly. I mean, listen, I know he didn't have that good of a 23. But do you guys all really think that James Bradbury was not an NFL cornerback to any level?
No, I thought
Come on. He could have been Isaiah Rodgers last year. He could have been a guy to some extent. So I don't think Bradbury.
I don't think no.
Yeah, I think it was a little. It obviously ended the way it did, and Jay Brown, we got an All-Pro year from Bradbury, a year that we got close to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I know how it ended. I thought that was a shit call against James Bradbury. I know he pulled a little bit, but holy shit, what a bad call that was. And I don't, you know what? I kind of like James Bradbury. I'm not going to lie to everybody. I kind of fucking love him. I like the way he talks. I like the way his mentality is. I like the way he approached being a coach bench guy last year. I like him. I got no problem with James Bradbury.
I do too. All right. I got to tell you something here, man. This is really one of my favorite things to do. Unlike Jeff Kerr and John here, I'm going to bring something out here. Fox Sports, baby, came out with something here. Who are the top 10 quarterbacks heading into the National Football League's 2025 season?
No.
And once again,
we're not doing this on a 4th of July. We're ending the show at 4 o'clock if you don't shut your mouth.
This is Big Sills. This is not my list. This is not. I want to read you something here. I'm not going to read you the rest of these tools, but I am going to read you this here. Hold on. You got Dak at 10. Jaden Daniels at 9.
Ooh, a little low for you, boy.
Listen what they said about him, though. Daniels needed just one NFL season.
Dude, you can't now glaze subheads or sublines, sub headlines, whatever the hell they're called.
Justin Herbert, number 8. Mayfield, number 7.
I like Mayfield at 7. Mayfield's good, man.
Yes. He's really turned it around.
He's really good.
Is 6.
Okay.
And here is the man from the city of brotherly love. Listen what these fuckers from Fox.
Get Jalen up there.
Hold on. This is what they wrote about him. Hurts made his 2nd Super Bowl and won his 1st ring last season. Great. That being said, he wasn't as prolific a passer in 24 as he threw for a low since being named starter for 2903 and 18 TDs. Those numbers were more of a function of the Eagles' successful commitment to the running game and to Saquon.
I think that editor listens to Big Sills.
Barkley, who rushed for 2,005 yards and 13 TDs. That's the shittiest thing I've ever seen for the reigning MVP of a Super Bowl I've ever seen. That is so disrespectful. Again, the reason I did this, the lists are stupid. But the perspective of how they look at him nationally is what it is. Outside of Philly, nobody blows this guy.
No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care.
We're 4.
From Philly, fucking Philly. No one likes us, and we don't care. I don't give a shit. He keeps winning. We keep parading, and everything is good in my world. I don't give a shit what some nerd on ESPN writes before the beautiful 4th of July holiday.
3 is Lamar. 2 is Mahomes. And number 1, it's Hurts sitting at 5.
I like Allen at 1. Who was 2? Mahomes?
Mahomes.
3 was Lamar,
and you got Burrow at 4. I think that's right.
Janky list.
I think that top 5's right.
That's a janky list, bro.
Bro, I got to tell you, Hurts being in that group with those dudes.
There's Herbert. Herbert's on that list. Prescott's on that list.
The top 5. The top 5 guys. Hurts, Burrow, Lamar. You could shake that hat up any way you want.
List, man.
Mahomes has to be number 1, though.
Hurts should be up there.
He is up there. He's 5th.
You can make the argument that Hurts
he'll never be higher than 5th.
You can make the argument that Hurts has been a better quarterback the last 3 years than Mahomes has been.
No, he can't. He went to 3 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, and Jalen was better than him in 2 of them.
Okay, he's won 2 of them, and he's been in 3 in a row.
I know, but just like you say, Jalen was the caboose. Why did Mahomes win the Super Bowl versus us in 23 or 22? And then in 23, was he all that great? He was mediocre in those games.
Even in his bad seasons, he made it to the game.
I know that, but
I mean,
I'm just saying. I didn't say
you.
I'm saying you can make the argument.
Guy 3 versus a guy who had a 23 season. He didn't.
You can make the argument.
No, you okay? You can make the argument.
I love it. You know what I love? And I include you in this.
Damn it.
All right. I love how everybody who isn't from our city, who isn't a fan of our team, who doesn't know the ins and outs, and I don't include you in that part, but the public, the big media, the national media. I love how all they try and do is make us hate our guys. And meanwhile, these guys that we have right now have produced the most level of success this franchise has ever seen. That goes from head coach, coordinators, quarterback, everybody on that team. They all want Jalen's this, Nick is this. Who cares what any of them say, including the great Big Sales? All right? Results, Sileo.
Caboose. All right? Hey, listen, he's going to have to be more this year. That's for damn sure.
We'll see how it works out, man. Wait a second. As you said to me a couple of weeks ago, you got a team you think that can slow down that offensive line? Is there a team? You got a team that can slow down the running game when they have that offensive line in front of them?
Nope.
Okay. So let's see how it all plays out this year. This team has a chance.
There's no way, Dan.
This team has a better chance to repeat than the Chiefs did last year at a three-peat.
So do you believe that you think that this football team, if they had to, this year, if Jalen Hurts and they don't have Saquon Barkley and they have to run the ball with Dylan, do you think they can make it to the NFL Super Bowl with that brand new defense? Without
Saquon?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a knock on him because who's that a knock on?
No, I'm just saying he can't throw you into the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't think it's about that. I think your team just gets worse. Josh Allen, in theory, could throw you into the Super Bowl. He hasn't. Joe Burrow, in theory, could throw you to a Super Bowl.
They don't have good enough teams yet. You got to continue to build.
Well, and if you lost Saquon, you wouldn't have a good enough team.
Okay. That's been always my point.
Yeah, but that is contradictory.
How's it contradictory when you say
it is?
When you do this, Allen and Burrow do not have the team that this guy has.
And if Saquon got hurt, Hurts would not.
That's right. It would lessen the team. Correct.
Well, of course, absolutely.
Okay, that's right. We're talking about your roster being the best in the league, not your quarterback. How you doing? By the way, will there be a new star in the passing game this year? Are we going to see the same characters?
Yeah, that's it. No, I don't think he's actually going to be.
So you don't think Goddard has a big year this year?
I think Goddard has a big year, but again, we already ran these numbers. I mean, I think Hurts throws for around 3,500 yards. I think there's a gradual improvement there, anywhere from 35 to 3,800. Sounds like it's right in range to me. Maybe 38 to 4, somewhere in that range. You know what? I think 4 is coming. I made that bold prediction. I think it's very likely. And then I got 1,500 for AJ. I got 1,000 for Devontae Smith. You got 800 for Goddard, and I'm at 4,300. Maybe Smitty gets 11 or 1,200. I'm at 3,500, and add in 300 to between the running backs and the wide receiver 4, 5, and 6, or whatever the hell they are. Tight end.
I really love the fact that Hurts and Patullo are working this offseason together, making sure that these guys are on the same page. You know what Clint said? He said these guys are zooming, these guys are together, these guys are talking. They don't want to have the bumpy start that they had at the beginning of last year.
Xander, hasn't Jalen thrown it into a Super Bowl without Barkley? Josh Prout, what a great observation by you. Yes, you would be correct, my friend. Miles Sanders.
So do you think he could do? You think he could do
it? The field now with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, let's put it to you this way, my friends. Jalen Hurts a year ago, throwing the football, okay? You guys have said it. We didn't have to. We don't need it. We have one guy. We don't need our quarterback. So because we're a dominant running attack, I don't need my quarterback every week. That's such an asset. There's no doubt. It's not a rip. You guys don't need him every week. It's the only team in the NFL that doesn't need their quarterback every week. Now, wait. In the run game, he's essential. He's more essential in the run game than he is in the passing game because they're afraid of him in that run game. All right. I want to shift gears on something on you.
All right, let's hear it.
Because it kind of ties in a little bit with the players that you just mentioned in the NFL, and I'll get to it. You think Bryce Harper's been a success?
I think Philly's overrated that run. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the team became one of the top teams in baseball. Now, I don't
By
think
the way, the reason I'm bringing this up, he's halfway through.
Yes, halfway through the halfway through the 13-year contract. They're halfway through the season. He's 6.5 years in on the 13-year deal he signed in Philly. I think he's been tremendous. I don't think he hasn't been worth the money. I think he's been worth the money. But to say it would be a success would mean that he came here and brought a championship to the city, and the team that they built around him, which, by the way, is not cheap. So for anybody who says, well, the team's not that good, well, then they spent the wrong money.
238 plus million.
Exactly. And it's higher than that. 238, you're low on that. Let me look that up real quick. Because
are you think they're behind the Mets?
Well, they're 4.
Oh, they're 4th? Wow.
The Phillies payroll this year is $279 million.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So my point is, when you have a player like Bryce and you spend like a top franchise in the baseball, in my world, success means a World Series. Now, I grew up, my dad was a fan of the Yankees. That's how he grew up in the middle of PA. He had one channel on the radio. It was the Yankees baseball, Giants football, and Rangers
WABC.
Hockey. Yep. That's where he was. He had one thing he dialed up listening to it every night. So I grew up with my dad being a diehard baseball fan and a fan of the Yankees. They win World Series over there. They don't get happy because Bryce Harper hit a home run in the championship series.
They don't hang pennants, AL pennants. They hang World Series pennants at Yankee Stadium.
So I think the Phillies have not been as successful. I don't think it's all on Bryce though, but I do think it's not quite. I don't think it's quite a success.
Do you think baseball is different than football when you're looking at a guy like Josh Allen then and Joe Burrow and that, where you have, again, I think baseball's the toughest championship to win because you have to have starting pitching. You have to have.
It's a hard championship. I think
it's the hardest championship to win. Do you know that there hasn't been a back-to-back National League champion in the National League in the World Series since 1975-76? Since 1975, the Big Red Machine, there hasn't been a back-to-back World Series champion. And there's a reason for that because it's
I actually agree with Killa here, but yeah, I agree with you.
It's the hardest championship to win.
It is, maybe. Killa says, let's hold the horses. The Phillies could very well win the World Series this year with Bryce Harper this season. Hold on, just wait. Killa, I actually happen to agree. Starting pitching has been way better than anticipated. They have a
Wheeler's Player of the Month, by the way.
They have a deep lineup in terms of starting pitching, way more than I expected. Christopher Sanchez has been lights out. I mean, when Luzardo is on his game, he's rock solid. They have great starting pitching. The bullpen is kind of trash right now. I don't like any of the bullpen guys, but can they do something? I don't know. Can you transition an arm, maybe to a bullpen arm? I don't know what they can do.
You think they make a move on trade deadline? That's at the end of the month.
Maybe for a bullpen arm. I think the lineup's got to play a little different. I don't like the way they swing their bats. We talked about this the other day. I don't like the way they swing their bats. I think they got to play a little more small ball, and I actually think their lineup is conducive to small ball success. They got Trey Turner. They got Alec Boehm. You got guys in the back of the lineup like Brandon Marsh. I mean, if you just ask him to hit instead of home run all the time, maybe he has a little bit more success putting a bat on the ball. You got Schwarber in there as a big bat. I mean, I don't love the way that they play in the batter's box, but I do think Killa, if they get hot, they could be a team to watch.
How about this? Next Tuesday or Wednesday, we're getting Tim Kirchin on. Do you like him? I'm getting Tim Kirchin from ESPN on, and we're gonna do a little bit. I had Gary Sheffield on the morning show this morning, and Gary Sheffield loves the Phillies. He thinks the Phillies have a great opportunity this year.
He goes like this.
He goes, they've got a great lineup, and if that starting pitching can do what the White Sox did a couple of years back when they won the World Series, when they had Ozzie Guillen as their manager, and they can go deep in the playoffs, they're going to have to go. The starters are going to have to go plus 5 2/3. He said if they can go 5 2/3 and be limiting on the bullpen, he thinks the Phillies have a shot to probably play the Dodgers. If the Dodgers get their shit together, The Dodgers have to get injuries, and if they get their injuries right, it's going to be the Dodgers. It's going to be the Dodgers and them. So, in the NLCS. So, I mean, you could see those two in the NLCS probably playing against the Astros in the World Series. I think the Astros are going to go, not the Yankees.
Ooh, Astros are good squad.
Yeah, I think the Astros are going to go.
All right, everybody in the chat who likes the Phillies. Xander, would you trade Bryce Harper for Judge? Just asking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I unfortunately, I might have to agree.
Dude, this guy hits multiple home runs. This guy broke Lou Gehrig's record the other day for multiple home runs.
He stinks in the playoffs. He's like Dakota.
It drives me insane. It really does. That that donut he took drove me nuts. Dude, I grew up like your dad.
Dad is right. Harper's clutch. Judge is not.
It's true.
Where was Harper in game 6 and 7 versus the Diamondbacks 2 years ago?
I got it. That was so weird how the Diamondbacks rolled them up like that.
That series lives rent free in my head.
Let me go back to football here. One last thing here. I did a small hit in Pittsburgh on the Fan. They asked me, and I got to tell you, bro, I don't know what it is. When I go somewhere else, I'm fucking constantly defending you guys. And it makes me nuts. I found myself.
Well, that's because I think you realize how good we are. And anytime you might grow in on something, obviously you can find things to nitpick. It's like anything, you know, a nice sports car drives by. You're like, wow, look at that car. That's a nice car. And then you get up close and personal, and the owner's like, I fucking hate this dent right here. And this little chip drives me crazy. And you're like, wait a second, dude, your car is beautiful. But the owner sees it differently. You're up close and personal with the Eagles, and you're big sills. Let's be real. You're wired to fucking disrupt, to stir, to question, to doubt, to do all these things.
Listen, so these guys go like this. Don't you think that Howie would bite on TJ Watt for Nolan Smith? Xander, you should have heard the dead air. I go, no, why would he do it? And they go, what do you mean? He's one of the greatest players. I go, if you think that guy's Joe Green, you're out of your mind. I said, let me put it to you this way. Why? The Eagles didn't need a double-digit sack guy a year ago. Why would they want to spend $40 million on a guy? They've already got their money. The Eagles have their money counted already. They've got their money appropriated already. Yeah. I mean, they've got an idea who they're paying, who they're not paying. And why would they upset that for a dude who's 30 years old? Now, I looked at the numbers. He has had 30 sacks in 2 years. It's awful good. But, I mean, I don't need him to win a Super Bowl. I don't need to have that. Now, Myles Garrett, a little different conversation. TJ Watt, I don't know, dude. He's missed 8 games in 4 years, too.
Jalix Hunt is coming. Nolan Smith. My only concern
this is huge conversation in Pittsburgh.
What, that they're trading Watt?
That they want to trade Watt to Philly for Smith.
They're not trading Watt to Philly.
That's what I said. I go, never happened. I said never happened.
No one. So they bid on that, man. They all bid on that. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's not happening. By the way, it's completely against everything the Eagles have done this offseason. And I, like you said, you've pointed this out, Sills. It's the one thing I think that you even alerted me to about this defense and the way Vic might be thinking. And you've been on this since they won the damn bowl. They had the number 1 defense in football, and their leading sack guy had 8 sacks. Do you really want to spend $40 million on a sack artist?
No.
I don't think you do.
What? No, I'd rather spend it on a corner.
Football players. I think you want the right football player. Again, it goes back to my favorite movie and one of my favorite quotes of all time. I'm not looking for the best players, Craig. I'm looking for the right ones.
Players.
We got the right players right now. I don't see a need to infuse that with a $40 million shiny object, shiny piece. I just don't see it. I don't think it's worth it.
Do you think he's got some interest in it?
Howie?
Yeah.
I think Howie calls about every single prospective player on the market ever. That's what I think. And I think he does that because he's good at his job.
And he's also looking at market.
You don't understand, though, what the cost and the price of other assets around the league are going for, then how are you doing your job well as a general manager? He needs to know what TJ Watt's going for, not because he wants TJ Watt, because he needs to know to be good at his job. Again, I'm using cars today because I'm shopping for a new car. I sold my truck. An example. If I'm a used car manager and I don't know what used cars are selling for, how the hell am I supposed to be a good used car guy? You got to know, you got to have a feel for the market and understanding of what's going on, right?
Yeah,
He knows.
absolutely.
He knows exactly what they would take for TJ Watt, I'm sure.
Absolutely here. All right, Xander, let's get to some of the supers. Guys, send us some supers here. We appreciate you guys. By the way, dude, next week, it's going to be 7 days to the Chargers reporting, and I believe it's going to be 14 days when we get to see. And how about this? All the videos that we're going to have, Xander, on JAKIB Sports from training camp again, like we do when John's sending them. Folks, this is going to be your one-stop place.
We got to go hard, man. We got to go hard. And
Bro,
actually, I'd even like to ask the people what they would like to hear and see from us as creators this season. Like, and I'm talking, what do you want Sills and I to do? Yeah. What do you want me and John to do? What do you guys want to see? Because I do want to make the content that the people want to see, and we have such a loyal base, and I feel like they deserve to be able to say, I want to see this, I want to see this, and I'll fucking make it happen, man, for sure.
I just want to tell you guys something here before we move on here. Xander works behind the scene 24/7. All the things that he's doing, he's a one-man band, and I got to commend him. I tell you what, in our industry, we have a lot of chaos in our industry.
A lot of fake people is what we got.
Yeah, and
that was nice. He froze up as he's complimenting.
Tear it down, and I've been able to do. Did you do that?
No, you froze up.
Oh, I did. Okay, and what they've done is they've absolutely done a spectacular job at growing the brand. I can't be more proud of what you do, Xander. I mean,
Thanks,
dude,
bro. Appreciate it, man.
You're keeping everything going, and you're keeping it going in the right direction. That's why I'm going to do the same thing. Listen, if you guys want to see a particular guest, I can get anybody on. There's nobody I can't get on.
I haven't found somebody yet that Sileo doesn't have some sort of connection with.
And I'll find that person to give me his number. Okay, Stevie, that's how I work it.
Stevie pissed on the router.
And Stevie's a good boy, man. That's my boy. So I just wanted to throw
Stevie, piss on that router again. I'll punt you.
Hey, we'll be making a hat of you here, Steve. Like Xander did.
Stevie, like it might be all sunshine and games right now, but if you mess with my show again, I'll punt you. I used to say
remember this. Remember this.
I was a kid. My mom had a little dog, a little cockapoo, little fucking dog. I fucking hated that little dog. I loved it, but I hated it at the same time. I used to say to that dog, "You mess with me, dog, I'll punt you. I will punt you. Don't think I won't do it."
He's giving you a Rod Burgundy. He's gonna punch you off the bridge. Yeah. I get it. All right, let's get to the supers, man.
All right, man. Thanks everybody for the supers. Brian Fleming checking in. What up, Brian? Happy 4th, Jacob. Happy 4th, brother. Yeah, wait. Before I even read the rest of this super chat, we got 4th of July in like 6 hours. And Sileo rolls up in a Miami tee. You don't got anything? You're like Johnny Mac. John shows up in a black polo. Sileo showed up in a Miami. Like, I can't get these guys. Right. These guys, I mean, you can't get these guys to do anything different if my life depended on it. I mean, look, I at least went white shirt, got the red logo, got the blue hat. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
I'm gonna make a short, and I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna wish everybody a 4th of July, and I'm gonna put red, white, and blue on. And by the way, if your dad asked me to put an Eagle gear on at an event, I fucking would put one on. Curmudgeon John, I would put one on. I would put an Eagle. I'm never going to do that because I can't be impartial and shit. I'm not impartial. I'm not a journalist. Big Sills is Big Sills. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Are you kidding me? I love that jersey, dude.
It's not bad, Prince. It's Prince. All right, I got to get the Bryans again. Kyle says, I may not live in Philly anymore, but I'm the same crazy, ignorant, obnoxious person when I lived there. Kyle, I can tell, brother. And I love you for it, Kyle. It's why one of the reasons I like Kyle so much, because I can shit on him. He shits on me back.
Yeah.
And then he comes back the next day. There's a lot of, one dude. Who was the dude I was messing with yesterday? What the fuck's his name? Mommy or something. Mommy. You got all butter. It's like, oh, yeah, you can't afford this, and you're this. And I'm like, okay, mommy. Okay, mommy. Brian Fleming says, happy 4th, Jacob. Have fun and be safe. Don't JPP yourself with fireworks and lose thingies. You won't be able to type in the chat bashing Sills' takes.
Listen, I cannot touch fire, so I cannot touch fireworks because I'm not allowed, because I've almost lit my house on fire 3 times. Get this. I was thinking of getting a propane tank. Okay, wait.
You'll blow that thing up too.
He's laughing already. My wife
blow that thing up too.
Wait a second. So I got a grill here, and I'm thinking of getting this this propane tank.
Oh, is it a propane grill?
Yeah. And so
it needs a propane. How else are you going to get the thing on?
That's what I say. So she goes, "You're not touching anything like that." And I go, "No, I'm going to put
propane tanks are as stupid proof as it can get, basically. I mean, you got it. Huh? They're pretty stupid proof. I don't know. I feel like you could figure out a way to blow the motherfucker up, but it's pretty stupid proof.
Okay, well now I'm compelled.
You got a little knob for the gas. You turn the gas on and off, and then you plug it up to the grill. You turn the gas on. You click the grill. I mean, it's going.
Hey Prince, let me hook you up on something. My nickname in college was Tripod. Don't worry about it, Junior.
No, it wasn't. What you tell yourself. Kimberly says, headed to Lake George. Great memes there. Happy 4th. Wow, that's dope. I've never been, but I've heard good things.
Good things, Lake George. Absolutely. That's a great place, man.
You ever been?
Yeah, really great. Really great. Yep.
Here's Prince. What manly thing do you do, Sills? Big Sills, you're gonna run wild on you, brother.
I got to think of what do I do that's manly?
I don't know. You put your feet up on the couch. You drink mojitos.
Nah, I don't put my feet up on it.
Yeah,
I drink beer.
You drink mojitos and margaritas.
No, I don't. No, not anymore because there's too much sugar and my sugar levels up. So I got to be careful because I get a little.
Beer's better for you?
No, beer's awful for me. Okay, but the sugar and the shit.
Yeah, I want you to do. Yeah, why don't you call up your boy, Diamond Dallas Page, and say, how bad for me is booze? And then let him go on a rant.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that because I want to booze it up. I mean, listen, I spent 36 years fucking working out every gosh dang day.
I know. You can booze.
Okay, and I don't want to go there any longer, man. I choose to be large. How you doing? I just choose it now, man. Give a shit.
Because it's easy.
Dallas texts me. Dallas texts me and he goes, "You haven't opened up the program yet." I go, "How can you tell?" He goes, he caught me, dude. Wait a minute. Listen to this. So he sent me 2 fucking emails. Here.
I was listening. Can I just want to say something? This is how much I know Sills. I'm listening to that segment. And I'm listening to Diamond. I'm listening to Sileo saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to click on it right when I get off here. Whole time myself, I'm thinking, there's not a chance in hell Sileo entertains the thought. He'll never think about that program another second. In fact, he'll get off the show. He'll walk off, take a piss, sit on the couch, and crack a beer.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
There's a little bit of beauty in that, Sills. I'll tell you.
But I sat down, I took a drink, I thought about feeling guilty for a second. Then I said, fuck it. It was about 2 seconds. And then I remembered it. Then I put on Judge Judy.
Look at Prince, man. Why'd you get everybody in the Diddy mode? By the way, Diddy would like you, Sills, Mr. Tripod, LOL.
Sure he would, man. You know why? Big Sills is fun to party with. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm not. Oh, by the way, are you an angry drunk?
I don't drink, but I was never an angry drunk.
Yeah, I'm not. Me neither. I laugh.
I'm not an angry drunk. Yeah,
I laugh. I don't get there. I don't.
Bro, I was never a drinker though. When I was in high school, I mean, I could drink. When you get to college, you got to be able to drink. I could always handle my alcohol. But when I was in high school, we used to throw these parties called Edgeley, St. Joe's Prep. It's a thing. You throw parties in Fairmount Park in Philly. Cops know about it. You go, you get the keg.
Yeah.
You go buy a bunch of cases of 40s, get a bunch of cases of Locos. Now everybody else is getting booze. You know what I was doing? You could guess. I was buying the beer and selling it for $5 a pop. and walking out of there with a couple $100 profit every Friday. That was my gig. I wasn't the dude who you had to get into the car because they were out of control. I was never that guy. Yeah. Never out of control.
But that's funny you say that, because my Catholic high, every year we would have, during the summertime, we would have keg parties. And so what I would do is I'd get cups, and my buddy who played in the NFL himself, his name was Tony Brown, we would get cups and we would sell them at $5 a pop. And I don't know, man, we'd get like 30, 40 people. We'd have these people over there at a golf course, and we'd make ourselves a couple other bucks. Then you turn
the math, right? You do the math. I used to buy Locos and 40s and then cup the keg. So I'd sell the cases of 40s were 12 in there. They were sold for $5 a pop, and I bought them for $24 a case. So I'm making $60 per case. All right, I'm making $30.
The only problem I always
had, 5 cases, that's $150. You get a keg, it's $120. You sold 100 cups or 200 cups. You're making, a couple.
How much was the deposit on the tap? Do you remember? Was it $40?
I don't remember. I mean, I was fucking young, too young to be talking about me doing this, honestly. But
yeah, I was like, we used to get the tap, then we used to get the.
I think it was like $100, right? And then you brought
something like that, like $120 for that thing.
And then you brought the tap back.
Yeah, you brought it back. They gave you the dough, this and that. What do you got planned this weekend?
Dude,
not doing anything. You're just hanging out, huh?
Yeah, not a whole lot, because this house is rented up down the shore and everything. So I'll be hanging out with my family. I'm gonna see my niece. I'm gonna see my brother. So he's coming over tomorrow. I'm excited for that. We'll all get together, me and my family.
Any fireworks?
I think there might be fireworks around here, but we're not like a firework family. Like, I don't go and buy fireworks and light them. I don't do that. I mean, if they're happening in the town, maybe I'll see them. But and then tomorrow, I think we're going to my cousin's a little bit after late in the day. So nothing crazy, but I'm just getting with my family. That's the people I want to be around. That's good for me.
Bro, I took steroids. I'm not taking fucking cocaine.
You can't do that, dude. That's a heart attack.
You have my heart explode on me, man? I'm not doing that. I was always nervous about that shit anyway.
There you go, Jay Brown. Jungle Juice and $5 a cup.
My buddies would always. Hey, Xander, let me just tell you one party, though, down in South Florida. So Luther Campbell and all the rappers. So I didn't know anything about this. I show up at this party down in Miami. Bro, I walk into a room. There's like these little tiny, like soap bars on about 15 tables, right? I go, what's with the soap on the table? They go, you dumbass, that's not soap, that's Coke. I'm going like, what? And there was it was a bar of Snow, like Ivory Snow. It looked that big. I could not believe the amount of cocaine down at Miami when I was going to school down there. It was everywhere. I was always afraid, though, dude. I would have did it if I didn't do like steroids, but I was like, yeah, that's not working for me. I'm already taking gambles on my life as it is. I don't need to put myself in the ground.
Right.
So you need to drop a documentary. We got a couple more of these supers here. Now the documentary, I'm not allowed to, because my wife tells I'm not allowed to tell all the stories.
No, you can't. You probably
not all the stories, man. One day I'll tell you about the mafia.
Sills is keeping up his weight, waiting for the Bob Brown call to play 3 tech because JD can only play first down.
Yeah, no, those days are gone, bro. Big Sills can barely put his shoes on. I got slide-on shoes now. Hey, what you make of Diddy getting off? Like somebody said in here, man, Hollywood doesn't go to jail, dude. You don't send Hollywood to jail. That ain't happening. All right.
I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I'll tell you what. I bet you wouldn't be surprised me if Diddy was goes on a lawsuit rampage, suing everybody that called him all these different names. I know he's got some liability, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
I still get that. I said something this morning. I go, yeah, I hear that that Diddy's going to get 2 to 10, and this was in Florida. I go, oh wait, that was Florida State's record. Sorry, I got it confused. FSU guys got a little pissed at me because FSU went 2-10 last year. Your Bama team, by the way, I got them in the top 5
for football.
Yeah,
they got a good roster.
I set my top 25 in.
They got a good squad. That's why I said to you earlier. I'm gonna give this coach another year. I got to give him a chance. I can't jump. It's hard to replace a guy like Nick Saban, man. You got to give him a little bit of a chance. So I think next year is going to have a good chance with a good team. You did a good job recruiting. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah, somebody in here. My grandfather would have kicked my ass.
It's one thing to be a top 5 team, though. So it's another thing to win when
That's right.
when the going gets tough, or when January comes, or whatever it is, late Christmas. Prince, I got that one already. What else did I get? Hollywood said, "Happy 4th, Sills and Xander, and everyone in the chat. Keep grinding. You know I always will, brother. 49er fan here, but I appreciate all the work you do."
By the way, Hollywood, you are going to be my turnaround team of the year. And you know why? You play the 4th easiest schedule in the league. Okay? You're not playing a very tough schedule. You're not. The Eagles are playing the 4th toughest schedule in the league. You're playing the 4th. You know what? You know who's playing the toughest schedule in the NFL? The Giants. How are the Giants playing the toughest schedule in the league with the shittiest roster in the league? It's the NFC East, I guess, the way it's positioned out. But I mean, hey, Hollywood, I think your 49ers are going to be really good this year. I think you got a cupcake schedule, man. How that will play out in the postseason, we shall see. I think they're going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah,
I do.
Should be a good year, honestly. I'm excited.
They're going to be a turnaround team.
We'll see.
You watch Minnesota fade.
Got that one. Did we get this one? Hurts is like Brady.
No.
Hurts is like Brady. Brady had half the talent of Aaron Rodgers, but smarter and mentally tough. They both have Kobe's Mamba mentality. I agree with that 100%.
Yep. Hey, like I said, Jalen Hurts is not going to get better as a quarterback. He's going to get smarter like Brady did. You're not going to improve so much more in your arm strength, your body as you get older, but you get smarter in who to throw the ball to, where to throw the ball to, being more timely in your game and how you see it. That's what made Brady so good. Jalen's going to get smarter. You know why? He practices the most important thing. That's working on the game itself. Like I said, his deficiencies are this right now. He's got to get better at setting protections. He's got to get better at pocket presence with the sacks. And that's pretty much it. Just keep getting smarter. You don't have to worry about arm strength. It's good enough. His accuracy is good enough. Just keep getting smarter, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I
do think the constant coordinator changes.
Yeah, I think him taking the stuff at the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to help.
Because he's dealing with different systems?
I think now that he's taken over the control at the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to help him morph into a better quarterback in the long run. All
right. Big C, you make sure you and your family have an absolutely fabulous 4th of July, man, and we will be back ready to rock and roll on Monday, and I can't thank you enough, bro.
Yeah, you're good to end of 5, right, bro?
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Big Z.
All right, thank you, brother. See you, everybody. Have a great 4th of July. God bless America. God bless all of you. God bless our troops. And God bless the National Football Show. Love all you guys, man.
Love you too, Xander. Appreciate you doing that, brother. Absolutely. Give Xander a big like if you can for me right now. Hey, folks, don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. You know, I tell you, and we're so proud to have Morgan & Morgan part of the program here because, again, John Morgan has supported me for the last 25 years. It's been absolutely a fabulous relationship because Ultima and him have invested in me because I know the kind of family that they are, and that's why they run that business, because it's family-oriented, taking care of your family, looking out for your family. That's exactly what Morgan & Morgan has been built on, is taking care of American families across this country. Folks, when they see that badge and that logo of Morgan & Morgan, they know this. There's a reason they're the #1 injury law firm in America. You know what that is? They win. And they do not get paid unless you win. Simple as that. For more info, with thousands of attorneys from coast to coast, they are there for you anytime you feel you've been injured. Go forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529 to do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sills, do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button here on a 4th of July Eve. I love the 4th. Again, one of the coolest things on the planet, okay, was my home. And, oh, that's great. Mr. DeBartolo. I'm going to have Mr. Eddie D on. Hey, 49er fans. Mr. DeBartolo, Nikki, his daughter, just told me next week we're going to have Mr. DeBartolo on. Hall of Fame owner of the San Francisco 49ers and the owner of 5 Super Bowl rings. That is really dope. Not that easy to get Mr. D on. I think he's worth $6 billion. Mr. DeBartolo. So we're going to get him on. Was one of the greatest owners of all time, and how he ran the 49ers. And he's a dear friend of mine, and he's been a big supporter of me forever. So we're looking forward to that. Mr. D is one of the truly greatest owners in NFL history. And I'll ask him about Jeffrey Lurie so we can get his perspective. That guy's got 5 rings, just so you know. If Jalen Hurts has an MVP-like season and takes us back to the Super Bowl, what would you say about Jalen Hurts' career? Iconic. I would say iconic. It would be iconic. But he didn't lead you last year. This past season, he did not lead you. Barkley led you. But again, he's the dynamic because he's the quarterback. Okay? He's the quarterback, and he's going to get the majority of the credit for that. So I'm not going to pour water on that. It would be iconic. It absolutely would. You would also say, ironic, after all the people who quit on him, including Nick Saban. Okay? No comment. No comment. Man, don't get him going on that. Guys, do me a favor. When Mr. D comes on, do not bring that up. Because, no. Okay? What was your first thoughts when the Eagles drafted Hurts? Well, they had just paid Wentz. Stupid move. Like all of you did. Stupid move. I mean, once you're not a first-round drafted quarterback, you're drafting out of necessity. You know, Brady went in the 6th round. You really think the Patriots thought he was going to be that guy? Wouldn't you have taken him in the 1st round? Sills, if the offense does take a jump this season, like, many are predicting, do you think Petula will get a head coaching job and Rick becomes the OC? Frank Reich is going to be on your coaching staff in 2026. Take that to the bank. Okay? Take that to the bank. He already said he was going to accept the role. You heard him here that Nick was carving out a job for him as a consultant to the offense, and then the Stanford job came in. Did you guys not hear that? Maybe you did it, JD3. I'm not saying you. I'm not picking on you. But he said that this is the beautiful thing about the people we get on this program. They say those things here. He said on this program that they were carving a rollout for him on that coaching staff, and he made it very clear he did not want to be the coordinator and get in the way of Kevin Petullo. He likes Kevin. He knows Kevin. He thinks he's a smart coach. Okay? Absolutely. And he's never been locked down, just saying. And with Frank, that means an automatic Super Bowl. I've never seen it. Well, and when you have Barkley and Hurts running the ball the way they do, you have to single cover A.J. Brown. So where do you want to die first? Do you want to die with the 2 running backs / quarterback who can throw? See, that's what Jalen is. Jalen's a great running back who can throw. There's so few of those. Most of them are like Justin Fields. Justin Fields, okay? I thought he was a bum at Ohio State. You know, he blocked me. I didn't even add him. I said Justin Fields will be the biggest flop in the NFL in the 1st round. I thought Trey Lance would too. All the guys in San Francisco were like, I'll send you a Venmo of $50 if that happens. I'm like, bro, all of you 49er fans, okay, I could retire knowing full well that Trey Lance will blow. And he did. I said Justin Fields. I mean, I never saw it at Ohio State. He never showed me the tools that he was going to be a good pro quarterback. I never saw it. I still don't. Okay? I mean, I don't. Jalen is a better passer of the football. But get this, the talent evaluation coming out of college would tell you that they thought Fields was a better player. And you're like, wait a minute, he's not a better Well, then I'll tell you, Jalen did not have a very good reputation as a thrower of the ball. Even when he went to Oklahoma, I thought they were very college type throws. He didn't show he could throw the ball professionally in college like ever. He never did. He's gotten better as a pro for sure throwing the ball. He's gotten smarter at throwing the ball. Okay? Sills, you think Shanahan will ever be on the hot seat? I don't know, man. How many years are you going to keep doing this? Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. I don't know if I'm him even. Don't you want a different place? He's the really, get this. I will never say Kyle Shanahan's a great coach until Kyle Shanahan wins a Super Bowl. He's a great play caller. He's a great play calling head coach. But as a head coach, period, he's not. Okay? I mean, the guy, he can't freeze up in games. And he's got two benchmarks, being the OC in Atlanta and being a head coach in San Francisco. I mean, Bill Walsh, now they had Montana. So it was a different room. They had Montana and Young. Those are two great players. Remember something with Young. I want to show you something with Steve Young. Steve Young's probably one of the greatest running quarterbacks that's ever lived. And I'll make the point to you why. Steve Young. By the way, I played high school ball against Steve Young. So I'll always be a fan of Steve Young. I've known Steve Young. Get this. You guys want to hear something crazy? I've known Steve Young since I was 14 years old. 15 years old. I've known Steve Young. 15 years old. That's how long I played sports against Steve Young when I was 15 years old, and he was 15. When Greenwich would play Stanford. He was a great pitcher. He played basketball. He did all the sports. His dad was a great athlete. I think his dad was an investment counsel guy, and I think his dad did a lot of work at the YMCA or some shit. I remember going over to Greenwich and doing stuff with Young and a couple people. His brother, Mike Young, was also a pretty good ball player. Shanahan reminds me too much of Andy Reid. Always makes too many bonehead decisions at 2 minutes and gets too pass happy at times. Absolutely. Here's Steve Young. I want to show you guys something about Young and what makes him such a great player. What do you think made Young a great player? What do you think made Young? That is a great comment. But better. Steve Young was a white Michael Vick. It's a great take. Forrest, that's one of your best takes. But he was better than Michael Vick. He wasn't as electric as Michael Vick. I should get Steve Young on the show. Have you played against Steve Young? High school and in the pros? Yes. Actually, the draft pick that got me to the Bucks was the draft pick. The third, it was a 1 and a 3. I was the third round pick. So we have that connection too. Because Young was a Tampa Bay Buck. Okay? Here's what made Steve Young such a great player. And when people start talking about, well, he ran the ball a lot. Well, here, let's go here. Steve Young led the NFL in pass completion 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. 5 and 6 years. He led the NFL in completion percentage. I mean, what was his record with the Niners? He was 91 and 33 when he played in San Francisco. And he started. When he started, the Niners went 14-2, 10-6, 13-3, 12-3. And when he was in Tampa, he was 3-16. He wasn't going anywhere. And how many years he played behind Montana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He played 7 years behind Joe Montana. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years behind Montana. You imagine that? You're Steve Young. You know you're a Hall of Fame player, and you played behind Montana. Very proudly, Stamford, Connecticut. I grew up in the Cove, down by the water. Very proud to have been there from Stamford. My pop was an Italian man, and I've told you guys, my pop spoke 50% Italian and English when I grew up. They always spoke Italian around me. It was a really great environment. I would never want to be raised by anybody other than my aunt, my Uncle Richard, and my grandparents. It was the greatest life of all time. The greatest life of all time. It gave me every single thing, and still to this day, everything I need in my life. Every single thing. I could never have wanted, even without parents. It's the greatest life I could ever have hoped for. I did not have a bad childhood. It started out rough, but it was always great with my grandparents. I mean, it was the greatest life of all time. My pop was the best man I've ever known. My grandma, my aunt, my Uncle Richard, my Uncle Chuck, also. Those guys are the centerpieces of what and who I am. I could never do the things I do without those folks. Those are the people that, I stand on their shoulders. And I say that with great respect and great love. Here's the coolest thing. Those folks have never said no to me. Even when it hurt. They've never said no. I mean, I try to do the same thing for my daughter. Okay? I've never in a million years could have ever dreamed of being raised. Okay? My grandfather's wisdom was this. There's a right way and a wrong way, and there's no gray area. My pop had no gray area. There was none of that. You were right or you were wrong. And there was nothing in the middle. There was just nothing. Thank you guys for the supers, man. I appreciate you today. What would be the worst for the Eagles? Jalen Carter going down or Saquon? I think Carter's bigger loss. I think you'd still win some games, but I think that defense would implode if you lose Carter because the linebacking core would be affected. That means Zach Bond would be affected because you don't have the depth at defensive tackle, and he is the linchpin in that. Okay? Nice. Look at this old reference. Steve needs to send Leonard Marshall a bottle of champagne because he separated his sternum, right? Joe Montana's. Hey, I'll tell you, this is one of the craziest things you can ever I'm trying to think here. Is this what happened? What year was it? I thought Steve Young had a really great year. And then Montana came back. That's what it was. In 2000 and I think in 1995. No, he got traded. I forget one of these years. Joe got hurt and they put him in, and Young was playing like MVP football. And he got hurt. And look at this, man. Steve Young played until he was 38. I didn't realize that. He played until he was 38. I mean, your grandpa's not wrong, right or wrong. It's pretty black and white. Absolutely. There's just no question. That's how my pop did it. Family first always. Cheers, Sills. Happy 4th. We need drink a beer together one day, brother. Absolutely, man. Guys. Dude, you guys take time out of your day to come here and talk with me. I think it's freaking amazing. And it's freaking amazing. Absolutely. I want a couple things I want to hit on, though. Okay? So you guys see Caitlin Clark gun and beers? JD3. Canadians don't support the 4th of July. They're doing something else and weird and freaky. Do you guys see Caitlin Clark gunning beers? She's drinking liquor and alcohol and all that. You guys see her gunning the beers? I posted it on my Twitter page. You can go over to X and on my Twitter at Dan Sileo Show. She's gunning beers. Do you see her doing that? There's that chick from Iowa just gunning beers. She looks like Cooper DeJean. She's just cracking beers. She looks like Jason Kelsey. I thought it was awesome. And you know what you had the do-gooders doing? You think that's really a representation of like a star athlete? You know, young kids look up to her and promoting alcohol. You're like, really? Are you really that guy? Are you really that dude? Like, what are you, the no fun guys? The people in our country that do that shit, I don't really think that that's really a good representation of, you know, her promoting alcohol. And you're like, wait a minute. You're trying to tell me you don't think I know the difference between right and wrong? And I know that 21 years of age, you're legal to drink and you're having fun. You're celebrating an award. I think it was like the commissioner's trophy or some shit that they won a tournament or a cup or whatever it is. And she's in there having fun. And I was like, I thought that was awesome. It actually showed me that, again, she's more like us and we can relate to something like that. And it makes her more relatable. She's gunning beers with her teammates. How more American can you be? You win a championship of some sort. You're gunning beers with your teammates, who maybe some of hate her. And you're still being as genuine as you could be. I think it's dope. I think it's a great way to do it. Right? Gunning beers with your teammates after you win a title. But you get these people like, what is her name? Mina Kimes? Is that her name? She is a disgrace. Nowhere in the world is there more of a disgraceful network than ESPN. So finally, somebody at UPenn with some brain cells apologizes to the women who allowed a dude to go in there and compete on the UPenn swim team and take hard-earned awards away from actual women swimmers. You know what? I'm going to show you something that these idiots over at fucking Crossing Broad. Let me show you this here. Let me show you how absurd these people are here. I'm going to read you a line. So this is these idiots at Crossing Broad. Let me see where this line is here. Here it is. Penn bans transgender women from sports teams. Well, this just in. They're not women. They're not women. They're not women. Those aren't women. I mean, they're not women. What kind of headline is that? And get this. UPenn has apologized. ESPN hasn't. Because Kimes and Sarah Spain and these other people had you believe that you were a homophobe, a transphobe, or whatever phobe because you didn't support that way of thinking that a dude should be able to beat the shit out of a woman in the Olympics or that they should be able to compete and take hard-earned awards away from women. It makes no sense. I mean, it just doesn't make it. And ESPN, you want to know why Disney stock sucks? Right there in a nutshell. I mean, right there in a nutshell. ESPN's silent on it. They're not saying a word because all of their hosts made you feel like shit. It made you feel like you. Get this. You know, the one thing that Rush Limbaugh said before he passed, and I knew Rush well, don't hide under your desk with these topics. Do not hide under your desk. Okay? Don't. Don't let them beat you down. Stand up for yourselves. Lee Thomas is as much a woman as Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Riley Gaines fought the good fight. Be on the right side of history. Yeah, did you see what's her name? The gymnast did? She nuked her ex account. Simone Biles. Because she was on the wrong side of history. She thought defending a political agenda was more important than supporting women in sports. She got annihilated. Her shoe company bailed on her. Shoe company bailed on her. Millions of dollars. Because she thought she was going to be in the right politically. Hey, man. I'm not a politician. And I sometimes play one on my shows. But I could promise you this. I'm not going to bark about something that I don't have a true conviction on. If I'm going to sitting around talking about the big beautiful bill, that's not my deal, bro. I'm not cutting that thing up. Let those dudes all do that, and gals. That's not my deal. But dudes in women's sports, that's something for me. Okay? That is something for me. Big beautiful bill is great for small businesses. Actually, one thing I will say, it's tax breaks for people, not just businesses. From what I understand, like taxpayers are going to have tax breaks, not just businesses. It says it right in the bill. I read it. Taxpayers, American taxpayers, not just big business. Taxpayers, you and me, are getting tax credits. That's what it says. I read a little bit of it last night. Okay, I mean, the bill says taxpayers, not big business, not billionaires, American taxpayers. That's what it says. In the first page of the thing. Exactly. So people will have more money, which means businesses spend more. Helps us in the media world big time. Yeah. Again, I mean, hey, you're helping me pay my rent? Great. That's what I'm after. All right. Speaking of big business, our good friends, the number one injury law firm in all of America, and that is Morgan & Morgan. Folks, I tell you this all the time. The thousands of attorneys that they have working at Morgan & Morgan, they are there to protect you and all of your family members if you're ever injured. There's the number one reason why they're number one is because they win. We tell you this. Whether you're hurt in an Uber, whether you're hurt at work, no matter where, call Morgan & Morgan. They have a case for you. John said it. If you're ever injured, call them. By the way, the call is free. They don't get paid unless you win. Call them at forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone and Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
They're carving them up and good play calling along the way. First and goal at the 6.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
We're giving everybody a cool send-off here. We're going to cut the program short an hour. We're going to wrap it up here, but I do want to say something to you guys. Listen, we go back and forth, and we have a bunch of fun here. And I really appreciate you guys coming aboard here. Let me see what Twiz has to say here. And I really do. We are all customers one way or another. We need businesses unless we go back to being the hunter-gatherer. I do. Absolutely, we need businesses. We need businesses to thrive. I go, look, anytime you have a great economy, advertising is spent more, and more money is spent on advertising. And because of the way digital's going up and up. More of a bigger piece of the pie is being taken from radio each and every single year, and broadcast television, believe it or not. I mean, streaming. Look, the show that I'm doing in Tampa, that's great. But that's not the future. Okay? It's just not. Diddy gonna party like it's 1999. Thank you, Kyle. Yes, he is. So again, I just want to make sure you guys, I'm going to have a beer on you guys this weekend. I know the weather's kind of crazy. In some places, hot, raining, what have you and all, but I hope you get a chance to see some fireworks. And I hope you get a chance to get ready, because let me tell you something. Next week, we're going to start putting big-time people on the program, because we are getting ready for camps. And we're going to go around the camps. Every single team. You ready for this, Xander? Every single team that the Eagles play starting next week, we are going to have one of the big-name guys from the Dallas Cowboys. We might have to get Michael Irvin back on the program again. Then after that, we'll get the Rams. We'll get the Chiefs or Chiefs-Rams. Then we'll get a Buck. And we'll go down the list of the games. And we'll talk to those guys about what they're expecting. So get ready. Have yourselves a great weekend. God bless America and the red, white, and blue. I appreciate all of you guys. Joe, Xander, thank you. Big Z, absolutely awesome, man. I appreciate you. 2 to 6 on Monday. God bless America and have a great weekend. We'll see you on the flip side.